Hey ladies and gentlemen, this is Gatis, the CEO of DoRac. First of all, thank you for the community, for the enormous support, for patience and trusting in us. This past month and a bit more has been really hectic and endless unslept hours by the PC and frustrating, and I even have a few more gray hairs on my head. But we are finally there, and I'm finally pleased to announce that the DoRac is entering the next phase, which is beta test. In a beta test phase, we're gonna test our game in a BSC smart chain, meaning that we're gonna use our NFTs minted in BSC in the game to see how it goes, how it performs, uh, and so on. So I assume that most of you guys have already watched my brother's recent video about how to get your hands on our test dogs. So I won't cover this step in this video. Then we're gonna just cut straight to the part afterwards, right? So next thing, if you have your dogs, right, you have your MetaMask ready and everything is set up. Next thing you want to do is go to the DoRac app, click this button and choose the platform you want to play on, right? Instead, I'm using desktop, so I'm clicking desktop. This is gonna take you here. You can read this thing if you haven't. There's a lot of useful information that you can uh, understand how this works, but generally you want to download this file. Once you downloaded it, uh, you can basically store it anyways, right? I'm just gonna make it here. Go to your downloads, just drag this bad boy here, extract the package. You can delete the launcher itself. Basically, this is the most important stuff about this all, right? This is the launcher. You can create a shortcut. This thing you can place on your desktop if you have stored your file anywhere else, uh, and you click this one. This will open up the launcher, which this part of the game makes everything a lot more easier, as for us as developers and you guys as a user. So whenever there's a download, the launcher is gonna let you know what's the latest patch. Like we see patch nodes 007. You can see the most update in the core. You can read it through if you want to. Look at these dogs. The head movement is fluid, right? Anyways, so next thing you want to do, like obviously it states game not found. Click fix to resolve. You click fix. There's a little instructions for you guys, but generally what it does, it says to you that it doesn't have a path where to install game. So you go to the settings. You you point it where you want to put your game files. In my case, I'm just gonna leave it on desktop, right? DoRac beta. You're gonna click this folder. It's gonna automatically fill it in here, and now you click download the game. There's another prompt window. If you're sure, yes, you're sure. We want to play DoRac. Right. So this process depends on your internet connection, right? I have a pretty fast one, so this is gonna take a jiffy. It's only 283 megabytes, so it's not a big game, right? Not yet, as at least. So, and yeah, once it's finished, it's gonna take us to the. So game is ready, and we're ready to go. Just click play, and we're off. Sorry. So yeah, let's enter our name. No, I don't want that. I want this. Okay, our window. So this is the main window. Obviously, you don't need to click Ethereum because we are not launching Ethereum because the gas prices are high and blah blah blah. Just leave it at Binance. Click login. This is gonna open up a new window in a chain safe. This is a third-party GitHub implementation, so the games can connect with the blockchain. So you just click sign, and the most important thing is to copy this thing. If you don't copy game part, there's nothing changing in here. So what you want to do is to click copy. This is the one-time token. If you close this page, you need to reassign. You need to sign a message in the MetaMask again. So it starts loading. Now a game is connecting to the chain to get your NFTs. Hopefully, yes. This depends as well from the busyness of the chain, right? In this case, it's a BSC testnet, right? A lot of testing is taking place probably, and this might take some time. Also, it depends on your internet connection as well, because what happens in the backend is that the game is calling few functions to get your NFT data, which is, first of all, is it's calling functions to get response from the smart chain, from the NFT collection, with your token IDs to see what dogs you have, what's the stats of the dogs, and the second thing it's calling and getting information from the IPFS server, which contains information about your dog's visual looks. So yeah, as I said, this can take a while, and depending on your internet connection. So mine is done. We click on the inventory and you can see all our dogs, right? I have Scruffy, I have like all the stats are there, everything's there. So that's that. And obviously team's gonna try to find a way how to make this process even faster. Obviously, if you have like 3, 4, 5 NFTs, it's not a big deal. If you have a fast internet connection, it's not a big deal as well. But if you have like 300, then it might be a problem. But as I said, we are looking at how to improve this thing. But one thing you need to keep in mind that there might be like a way where we cannot optimize it even further, because this is also serves as a layer of protection, because people cannot cheat by using different dogs, like their own made dogs, right, and blah blah blah. So this step is really crucial for our game. Anyway, so next part, like this section, like obviously it's inventory, it shows your dogs. You can click this little button to rename your dog. This is the one-time thing. If you name it once, you cannot change the name other time. There is a way how you can do it on a test net, but it's not gonna be a possibility on the mainnet. Team is still thinking maybe we're gonna offer an option to change it multiple times. So let's find a nice dog. I wanna rename this one. Let's call it Blackie. Okay, names change, everything. Like another implementation, what we worked on hard is the trauma things. Your dog basically, when it runs in a race, it can fall, it can acquire traumas. The traumas vary. There are heavy traumas, medium traumas, light traumas, and so on. Generally, if you get a trauma, there's gonna be an exclamation mark popping up here. Your dog's gonna lose health, and it's gonna lose most likely agility or strength. So also, if he loses these points, it loses performance, right? And in order to get rid of these things, you're gonna visit this section of the game. This section of game in the inventory like shows like what kind of traumas you have, what's the health state, and you can heal it for a small amount of money, right? The prices are not set in stone. We'll see how it goes and what's the feedback, and we're probably gonna adjust a lot of stuff, right? Anyways, there's a food section and the injector section, which is empty because I don't have any. Right. Instead of old shop, we now have a marketplace, which leads to our NFT marketplace, right? So we can close this one. Let's open up the game again. You can take your dog to the training. Let's say, obviously, at this point of stage, in this initial beta phase, we have not implemented the training contracts nor breeding contracts, because we're gonna take it slowly. We're gonna first test the race and everything about that. Then we're gonna implement training and breeding as well. So when you train a dog, obviously it's gonna, like, let's say this guy has 25 agility. I want to train him. What you need to keep in mind is the durations of the cooldowns. Originally, this one duration, however, it should have taken once you click the button, but we reworked the system a little bit because this is more easier for us as developers. You click select, you have my dog has gained agility and 0.98, but what happens is the dog is locked away. He's in lockout period for 300 like seconds, right? Which means you cannot use this dog anywhere in the game. You cannot use it in training. It does not even show here because it's in lockdown period. You cannot use it in breeding. It's not here. You don't see it in the list, right? This is the breeding UI. Nothing pretty much changed there. As like I said, this is not a finished product. A lot of improvements going to be made. We also are working on a completely new training mechanic for the dogs, like in-depth one, so you as a user can access more features. Another thing, leaderboard. This is maybe I can get to this point later. But anyways, this is leaderboard. This is the public one. This is hosted on PlayFab. This is now not our in-house solution. This is third-party application. It's not controlled by us. But how it generally works is by winning the races, you acquire points. And we obviously the testnet is launched, right? And you guys, we're gonna have this competition weekly. Price is gonna depend. It might be dogs, it might be BUSD, it might be dork tokens, so it might be even player ID, right? Depending on participants, right? So every week I'm gonna reset this leaderboard, and we're gonna award the top 3 positions or top 1 position, depending, right? How we feel. But there's gonna be definitely prizes on table. So yeah, that's that. What else? This thing, yes, this is the section for your ID. Obviously, it's not pretty, right? I did this to just represent the idea how it might look. Obviously, this is citizenship for the your NFT. Obviously, this is just like a placeholder. I don't even have a player ID. The game assembles your model from the like on a random basis, right? What we did here is we gave every user starting DRT. Uh, by doing this, you're gonna have an option to make one offspring if you choose to, or you can train your dogs, but keep in mind the lockdown periods. And all the other prizes we are generating from the race is gonna be here on the claim section. We haven't implemented yet till the end the claiming button, but the contract is deployed, so developer is still working on the claim buttons and the back end of it. But generally is that if you have any claim amount, you will be able to claim and mint them straight from the chain into your wallet. In this case, if you spend your starting DRT, if you have something here, this gets automatically transferred here, so you can use it without even claiming it, right? So that's that. You have a racer ranks depending on how many races you have taken. This serves for the tournament mechanic. So your tournament ticket is going to be cheaper depending on your racer rank, right? And this is just the holdings of your wallets, right? The DRC token and DRT, which at this point is 0. Reputation, right? Self-explanatory. The reputation points you are acquiring by training, breeding, racing, and so on. So next thing, let's visit the 3D world. I made some changes to it, some optimizations and stuff like that. Obviously there's a sound, but you can switch it off. So yeah, this is like, okay, footsteps are still there. Okay, that's a bug. Anyways, so I have populated the city with some pieces, like the more vivid. This is for the kind of for the next part of our game, right? We have like this is 3D UI for the game, 3D world UI for the game from the next expansions, which might come pretty soon, then more faster than we expected. We have finance part. Obviously, this is not finished. This is just like to give you guys an idea of what's coming. There's an equipment. There's like player stats, finance, transmission. You can read the message if you want later on if you're using this kind of build. So we go back. Anyways, you can enter this section by pressing tab. You can unlock your cursor by clicking the left location button next to one. Not sure what it is. Multiple symbols. Anyways, okay. Other than that, the game is pretty much the same. We have improved racing mechanics and the logics in the backend. Obviously, that job is not finished yet. We are still improving the system, how it works. For some people, there is confusion how this thing works. Basically, the race is split in 10 parts. You can assign stamina points, which are used in the specific parts of the races. You can proceed without doing anything, right? But as from player perspective, I advise you to use stamina points because that's gonna give advantage. You don't need to spend 30 points. You can only spend 15, which is the minimum that's gonna get reduced from the dog anyway, right? So I always prefer to use 30, right? Because why not? I like my dogs fast, right? Let's do that. Like let's put 10 here. That's 5, 5, 5, and 5. Next, let's go. Matchmaking. This is something new as well. Generally, what's happening now is that game is running matchmaking in the backend. Usually, this takes around 30 seconds. There's gonna be like there might be users, some other users, or there might be not. We will see ultimately, but this is how genuine it is gonna work. You can click this button to leave the game if you choose to push out. So yeah, the race is starting. Nothing, yeah, as I said, visually nothing much has been changed, except the dogs, right? Maybe someone hasn't get the newest version of the game and haven't seen the new dogs, but yeah, they are the new dogs, the new models of dogs, the new animations and stuff like that. We have implemented the reworked good and bad event system. That works a bit differently, and yeah, basically I think I covered most of the stuff, but I might forgotten something. I will go over the key things later on this evening if I manage to find time to that. But yeah, this is how they are running. Obviously, these boys gonna get faster when we train them, right? So, but yeah, as I said, like basically these guys are controlled by the AI, right? They are controlled by the stats of the dogs, and the behavior, like it's determined by the AI, right, behind it. And we are still, yeah, trying to find the best way on how to demonstrate the race, right, and try to evolve mechanic behind it and so on. So yeah, that's basically it, and I hope to see you guys in races, right? We'll see. Like you see, I won the second place. My to claim amount has been updated. Reputation has increased as well. No rank because I haven't reached the limit, right? Because for in order to reach the bronze rank, you need at least 85 races, if I'm not mistaken. We can go into the inventory. Where is our doggy? Like it's 100% win rate. Good job, boy. And lifespan is going down as well. And yeah, there's that. Okay, guys. I think that's about it. Um, yeah, don't forget to spread the good news. DoRac's finally in the beta. Congratulations, boys and girls. See you around.